Did you know that some of the earliest signs of autism are so subtle they're easy to miss? As a parent, it's natural to feel unsure about what to look for. And you're not alone if you've ever wondered whether certain behaviors are just phases or something more. But here's the thing. Recognizing these signs early can make all the difference in your child's future. And what if I told you that by spotting these signs, you could set your child on a path to a more supportive, fulfilling life? Today, we're going to break down 7 early signs of autism that every parent should know, backed by years of research from medical experts from Harvard. Stick with me as we uncover these signs and talk about how early intervention can open up a world of possibilities for your child. Welcome to Parenting Beyond Labels, the place where we provide practical advice and helpful insights for parents raising neurodiverse children. Whether you're just starting your journey or have been navigating life with a neurodiverse child for a while, we're here to support you every step of the way. Today, we've got an important topic that could change the way you approach your child's development: recognizing the early signs of autism. We all know how confusing it can be when your child's behavior doesn't quite fit the typical milestones. You may have questions. Is this just a phase? Or could this be something more? It's totally natural to wonder, and that's why today's video is so valuable. We'll be covering 7 key signs of autism that every parent should know, backed by research from some of the leading experts at Harvard. These signs may not always be easy to spot at first, but understanding them early on can make a huge difference in your child's future. Early intervention can significantly impact your child's development, and today, we'll show you how to recognize these signs so you can get the support your child needs as soon as possible. In this video, we'll walk you through the 7 early signs of autism, everything from communication challenges to repetitive behaviors. We'll discuss how these signs may present themselves and how noticing them early can guide you toward the right resources and interventions. Remember, the sooner you catch these signs, the sooner you can make a positive impact in your child's life. Stick with me till the end, because the 6th sign is what many parents overlook. By the time you're done watching, you'll have a better understanding of what to look for, how to respond, and most importantly, how to take the next steps to support your child. It's all about giving your child the tools they need to thrive, and I'm excited to help you get there. Before we get into the video, please do well to subscribe and click on the notifications so you don't miss any of our content. Let's start with one of the most common early signs of autism: limited eye contact. As babies, most children naturally make eye contact during interactions. It's a fundamental part of social communication. But for some kids on the spectrum, eye contact can be a challenge, and they may avoid it altogether. If you've noticed that your child doesn't make eye contact or seems uncomfortable when they do, this might be one of the earliest signs of autism. If your child avoids eye contact consistently or seems uncomfortable with it, this could be a red flag. But remember, it's not about forcing eye contact. The key is understanding your child's comfort zone. Forcing them to make eye contact might cause anxiety or frustration. Instead, try engaging with them in ways that don't rely on eye contact, perhaps through gestures, sounds, or visual aids. You can still foster connection and communication without the pressure. I spoke with Shirley, a mom of a young boy named Jake. She noticed that Jake never made eye contact during their conversations, and at first, she was concerned. After some research and advice from a pediatrician, Shirley learned that this was actually one of the early signs of autism. Instead of forcing Jake to look at her, she started focusing on activities where he felt more comfortable, like reading books together, where he didn't feel the pressure to make eye contact. Their interactions became much more relaxed, and Jake seemed to engage more willingly. The second sign we're going to talk about is a lack of joint attention. Joint attention is a crucial developmental milestone where a child shares focus on an object or event with another person. For most neurotypical children, this skill develops naturally at an early age. If your child isn't pointing at objects or looking to you to share an experience, this could be an early sign of autism. If your child doesn't seem interested in sharing experiences or objects with you, it could be a sign of delayed joint attention. For example, around 9 months old, most children will start pointing at objects or looking at something they're interested in, and then look back to you to see if you're also paying attention. If your child doesn't seem to do this, it's important to monitor the behavior and seek support if necessary. Let me tell you about Michael and his mom, Lisa. When Michael was around 12 months, Lisa noticed that he wouldn't point at objects or try to share them with her. It wasn't something that worried her immediately, but as time went on, she realized it was more than just a quirky behavior. She consulted with a pediatrician who recommended early intervention. After starting therapy, Michael's ability to engage in joint attention improved, and he began pointing and looking at Lisa during playtime. Early support helped Michael develop this important social skill. Next sign, we have delayed speech or nonverbal communication. It's important to understand that not every child with delayed speech is on the autism spectrum, but significant delays in speech and communication are often early indicators. If your child isn't speaking by the age of 12 months, or isn't using simple gestures like waving goodbye or pointing, it's a good idea to pay attention. If your child hasn't said their first word by 12 months, or isn't using basic gestures by 18 months, like waving or pointing to something they want, this could be a developmental delay associated with autism. Early intervention in speech therapy can make a huge difference, so don't hesitate to seek guidance from a professional. James, a dad I spoke with, shared how his son, Aaron, didn't say a single word by the time he was 18 months old. At first, James thought it was just a delay, but as Aaron turned 2 and still wasn't talking, he started to get concerned. James brought it up to their pediatrician, and Aaron was referred for speech therapy. With the help of early intervention, Aaron started to catch up with his speech development. He's now speaking in short sentences and interacting more with his family. Sign number 4. Repetitive behaviors or movements, such as hand flapping, rocking, or lining up objects. These repetitive actions are often a way for children with autism to self-soothe or cope with sensory overload. While some repetitive behaviors are typical in young children, if they become frequent or intense, it may be a sign of autism. If your child engages in repetitive behaviors that seem unusual or are more frequent than what you would typically see in children their age, it could be an indicator. Pay attention to when these behaviors occur. Do they happen during times of stress or overstimulation? This can help you understand whether they're a coping mechanism. Let's talk about Emma, a 2-year-old who often flapped her hands when she was excited or nervous. Her mom, Maria, initially thought it was just something Emma would outgrow. But as the hand flapping became more frequent and intense, Maria decided to reach out for help. After talking with a pediatrician, they learned that repetitive behaviors like hand flapping are common in children with autism. Emma started therapy that helped her find other ways to self-regulate, and with time, the behavior decreased. Sign number 5. Limited social interaction. Many children with autism show less interest in playing with others or engaging in social activities. While some children may be shy, children with autism often show little interest in interacting with peers or adults. If your child avoids social interaction or doesn't engage in social play, it's worth noting. If your child avoids social interaction or seems uninterested in playing with others by the age of 2 or 3, it could be an early sign of autism. Children typically begin to engage in interactive play with their peers around this age. So a delay or absence of social play can be a key indicator. Rachel, a mom I spoke with, told me about her son, Ben, who preferred to play by himself, even when other kids were around. He didn't respond when others tried to engage him or invite him to play. After realizing this might be a sign of autism, Rachel sought out support. They started therapy, which focused on social skills training. Over time, Ben started interacting more with his peers, and Rachel saw improvements in his social engagement. Sign number 6, sensory sensitivities. Children with autism are often either oversensitive or undersensitive to sensory input, like light, sound, or touch. You may notice that your child is more distressed by certain noises, textures, or lights than other kids their age. If your child seems overly distressed by loud noises, bright lights, or certain textures, this could indicate sensory processing issues. For example, if your child covers their ears at loud noises or refuses to wear certain clothes because of how they feel, it might be a sensory sensitivity related to autism. Take Sam, for instance. He would scream every time the vacuum cleaner turned on. At first, his parents thought he was just scared, but as they learned more about sensory sensitivities, they realized Sam's reaction was due to his sensitivity to noise. They worked with a therapist to help him gradually tolerate loud sounds, and over time, he was able to handle the vacuum without distress. Finally, sign number 7, difficulty with transitions. Many children with autism struggle when switching from one activity to another. This could be moving from playtime to mealtime, or even changing rooms or activities. If your child becomes upset or resistant when you change routines, like moving from playing to getting dressed or going to bed, this might be an early sign of autism. Children with autism often find it hard to cope with transitions, so it's important to approach changes with patience and consistency. Lily's mom shared that getting her daughter to stop playing and get ready for bed was always a challenge. Lily would scream and resist, unable to understand the change. But when they started using a visual schedule, Lily became more comfortable with transitions and was able to manage them better. With the right support, transitions became much smoother. Have you noticed any of these signs in your child? Feel free to share your experiences in the comments below. What steps did you take? Or what helped you along the way? Hearing your stories can help others in similar situations. Remember, you're not alone in this journey. The more we share our experiences and support each other, the stronger this community becomes. Your comment might be exactly what another parent needs to hear today. So don't be afraid to join the conversation. Your voice matters. So, let's quickly recap the 7 early signs of autism that we covered today. These are the signs that every parent should keep an eye on. 1. Limited eye contact. If your child avoids eye contact or seems uncomfortable with it. 2. Lack of joint attention. If your child doesn't share focus with you, like pointing at an object and checking if you're looking. 3. Delayed speech or nonverbal communication. If your child isn't using gestures or saying simple words by 12 months. 4. Repetitive behaviors, like hand flapping, rocking, or lining up toys, especially if these behaviors seem out of the ordinary or frequent. 5. Limited social interaction. If your child seems uninterested in playing with others or engaging socially. 6. Sensory sensitivities. If your child is overly sensitive to certain sounds, lights, or textures. 7. Difficulty with transitions. If changing routines causes extreme frustration or meltdowns. These signs may not always be obvious at first, but if you notice any of these behaviors, don't hesitate to reach out to a healthcare professional for advice. Early intervention can truly make a difference in your child's life. So keep a close eye on these signs and be proactive. It's always better to ask for support early on rather than wait. early detection and intervention can make a huge difference in your child's development. So being proactive is absolutely key. The earlier you spot these signs, the sooner you can take action and get your child the help they need. Remember, every child is different, but being informed and aware of these early indicators is one of the best ways to support your child's journey. If you found this video helpful, make sure to hit that subscribe button and join our community of parents who are learning, growing, and supporting each other. Also, feel free to share this video with other parents who might benefit from these insights. Together, we can spread the word and make sure more people have the resources they need to support their children. And don't forget to check out this book titled Autism Positive Parenting by Sharon Davin on Amazon, and other recommended books with the link in the description. Thank you so much for watching, and I can't wait to share the next video with you.